Hello from a beautiful patch of roadside here in Tasmania. Welcome back to another little waterfall photography adventure. My adventure started quite some time ago riding the push bike out here because I don't have a car that's suitable for this road. But we are just about to get started hiking down to what I believe to be a pretty nice little waterfall. Haven't been here before, but I have seen some photos and videos of it. So I think it's going to be a pretty good one to shoot. And just by the bridge on the road there, I can tell that it's flowing. So let's get straight into the bush. So I've done a bit of research before coming out here, and I know that there is at least 3 waterfalls on this creek. I will be definitely trying to go to at least 2 of them. And the third one, maybe if it's flowing really well, I might go up to the third one because it's actually upstream from the first 2 I'll be at, and it's on a bit of a side creek, so it might not be flowing as much as the bottom 2. All right, and after about 30 seconds of walking, it's starting to get steep. I can see the waterfall. Don't know if you can see that white just over my shoulder there through the shrubbery. Much easier than I anticipated to find. Pretty steep and slippery getting down here though. Okay, so here we are. It's pretty amazing what you can find on the side of the roadside here in Tasmania. We're not even 5 minutes from where I started, and at the base of this beautiful, probably about 15 to 20 meter high waterfall. I'm not going to waste any time. Going to get the camera out and try and find some decent shots of this one. Okay, so it's taken me a while, but I'm finally set up here in the creek underneath this great big fern tree, and we have a little bit of a foreground cascade going on up the front, looking through a bit of a clearing in the ferns and up to the waterfall. Unfortunately, as soon as I've got set up, the sun has come out, and the lighting here is pretty tricky to work with anyways because it's so dark down here in the creek, whereas the waterfall is quite a bit brighter. Now with that sun shining straight onto it, I can't take this photo, so I'm going to just have to sit here and wait for a good patch of cloud to come through, and then I'll be able to get the shot. The whole reason that I came out today is because the forecast said that it was going to be completely overcast for the entire day. But that's not the case here. There's a lot of blue sky, and the waterfall is just not going into the shade for long enough for me to take my shot. My toes feel like they're gonna fall off because I've just been sitting in the creek here ready to go. And I'm not really having the best start to the day. But I'm going to persist and try and get at least one photo. I've been staring at the back of my camera for so long that I don't even know if it's a good shot anymore. But yeah, we'll see how we go. Okay, on to the next one. I'm really not sure how that's going to turn out. Sometimes when you're out taking photos, you just know that you've got a good shot, and I definitely didn't really get that feeling there. But I'll show you and let me know what you think. You never know, it could turn out all right. And I'm just walking down a muddy four-wheel drive track here, hoping to find my next waterfall for the day. Okay, so that's pretty much the end of looking for this waterfall for me, I think. Private sign on the road there. There's also this smashed up car just here, and I got a little bit creeped out just walking back up from the creek because there's a few tents and stuff set up in there, which I didn't notice on my way down. So yeah, I'm going to make a plan B for the rest of the day, I think. The weather isn't doing exactly what I want anyway, so probably best to call it quits. Okay, so we're moving on from this morning's failures and I've initiated plan B. Just walking up a beautiful mountain creek. The water here is so clear, it is unreal. It is also freezing cold. I think there's a lot of snow melt coming off of the mountain at the moment. And I've just come across my first little cascade, or the first thing that sort of resembles a waterfall in the creek here. But man, so far it has been such a stunning walk and I can't wait to see what's further upstream. I actually don't know what's up here. I'm just coming for a look, so hopefully there is some waterfalls. Otherwise, just little scenes like this, I can probably work with that. Okay, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. This hike, if you could call it that, has been pretty tough, very dangerous. It started off easy enough and then very quickly escalated, quite literally, as I've been climbing up the creek. There was a log jam just downstream which forced me to take a massive detour up through the forest because it was just so dense. I actually couldn't even see the creek. It was just flowing out from underneath this like mass of vegetation that had obviously been washed down by a flood. I just went for a bit of a swim on accident, slipped over on the rocks. It's very slippery here, but this little waterfall just behind me, it's only small, but it's very pretty. We're in a bit of a gorge here, and I think this is going to make it all worth it. So I'm going to keep going upstream after I photograph it, but check this out. Okay, so I've really only got two options to proceed upstream from here. Number one is to climb up this cliff on the side of the waterfall here, which seems a little bit dodgy. And number two is to backtrack a little bit and go all the way around up through the forest, around this bit of the gorge. I'd prefer to go this way if I can. So without the camera gear, I'm just gonna have a go and see if I can get up there. And then if it's easy enough, I'll put the bag on and make my way up. But I thought I'd film just in case I fall down, because it might be funny. I don't know. I don't really know where to start with this, especially knowing how slippery it is because I just stacked it before. What if I... Oh yeah. Now for the real challenge. I think I can do this, but I just know how slippery these rocks are. Ugh. Just gonna go in here really carefully because I don't want to fall off the waterfall. Alright, so now I've just got to do that with my precious camera gear. Yeah, I've got to get back down. Jeez. Whose idea was this? Alright, don't really have much to hold on to here to get back down. Just gotta go for it. Alright. Okay, let's do that for real now. So how's that for a nice big waterfall? Just goes to show, if you're willing to put the effort in and climb halfway up a mountain following a creek, you might find something cool. It is unfortunately in the direct sun. Really don't know what happened to this overcast day that was on the forecast. It's completely sunny. I can't believe what I've just found. So I didn't think I'd be able to get up this waterfall, but there was a way up off to the side of it and it wasn't too bad. But check this out. I'm so glad I came up here. There is this beautiful multi-tiered waterfall in the rainforest here. So spectacular and beautiful. And it looks like it just keeps on going up the hill. So the light's not really spectacular for taking photos right now, and I'm just going to keep working my way up the creek, see what else I can find, and then maybe if the clouds come in finally, or once the sun gets a little bit lower and the light comes good to take photos, I'll start working my way back. But yeah, wow, that is beautiful. So the waterfall is in the shade, finally, and here's our shot. So we're going f9, 1/3 of a second, ISO 100, and it actually looks pretty good at the moment. We've got this little bit of flow in the foreground here, leading up to the waterfall. Nothing too creative, but the light on the face of the falls is quite nice, thanks to these super bright clouds up there sort of bouncing some light down onto it. Otherwise, when you're in the shade like this, it can be a bit average sometimes. So I'm pretty happy with how this has turned out, and I'm gonna head back up on top and try and photograph the other waterfall now. The light is so good right now, finally, after waiting all day, but I really have to get out of here because it's going to be dark soon, and I think it's about an hour till sunset, but it took me 2 hours to get to this point, so I might be in a little bit of trouble there. But anyway, at least I finally got a shot in the end. Thanks so much for watching. Hopefully this video turned out alright despite all of my struggles. I'd love to hear what you think. Cheers.